All right, we're here with the head coach of the Tenaha Tigers, Coach Marlon Byrdsong. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Let's talk a little bit about last season. A 10-3 overall record for the Tigers, made it to the regional semis, undefeated district record 5-0. Talk a little bit about last year and how last season went.
Yeah, as you stated, we were undefeated last year in district. Went on to go 3 rounds deep and end up losing in the third round to Love Lady. And then, of course, didn't end the way we wanted it to end. But the team that knocked us out ended up in our district due to realignment. So we're looking forward to that.
Well, and I want to ask you. Obviously, you're taking over for Coach Terry Ward. He stepped down, and now you are the head football coach there. Has there been a change in what you've had to do, or has it kind of been business as usual over there in Tenaha?
Well, as you said, we did, have that transition. We have changed some things. Of course, Coach Ward kind of laid the foundation last year, got Tenaha back on the winning track. They were down a few years, but the tradition here is always at Tenaha is rich and full of tradition here in football and basketball for that matter as well. But with that being said, we have changed some things as far as what we do day to day. But overall, the kids, they know who I am as far as me being on staff last year. So that wasn't a big transition. But as far as we have hired some new coaches and things like that. But overall, just minor adjustments day to day. But it's been a very smooth transition.
Do you think that does make it a little easier since that you are a familiar face, even though there's been other new coaches that have come in, but
Right.
the head guy in charge is a familiar face? Does that help a little bit, you think?
Most definitely, most definitely. I feel like it was definitely a blessing for me to be here last year and get to know these kids during the season, and they get to know. They already knew how I worked. I got to know them, and know their families and things like that. So yes, I feel like that's definitely been a benefit.
Well, let's talk about the realignment. Every 2 years, we have district realignment here in Texas, and it's a tough one this year with this district with Lovelady, Mount Enterprise, Overton, Tenaha, of course, Grapeland, Alto, and Cushing. What are your thoughts on this district that you got dropped into?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I feel like in 2A Division Two, we have one of the toughest, if not the toughest, district in the state. As you stated, you got Love Lady, Overton, Mount Enterprise, all those guys, and as you said, you can't sleep on Grapeland, Grapeland, Cushion, or Alto. So basically, what I'm getting at is that every night, every Friday night, we're gonna have to bring our best game. It's not gonna be any cakewalks, but we're up for the challenge. And we just got to come to play.
And lastly, I want to ask you, what are your expectations and your thoughts coming into this season? You got six starters coming back on both sides of the ball. So, and I've, like you said, a 3 round run last year. So, what are your expectations and thoughts as you head into this season?
Well, as we head into the season, of course, when you go into the season, you always want to set goals. We want to come out of our preseason, number one, healthy, with a winning record, hopefully be undefeated there. But we want to make sure that we're healthy going into Love Lady. And again, we want to be district champions. We want to make sure that the district championship, we feel like we know the Love Ladies added in, but we want to compete for a district title. And then, of course, the ultimate goal is to compete for a state championship. But we know the only way that we're going to be able to accomplish that goal is to get 1% better each and every day.
All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and talking to us this morning, and best of luck to the Tigers this season. And I'm sure we'll talk to you throughout the year.
Appreciate you having me on this morning. Have a good one.